If you have ever wondered about the origins of Christianity, then you have probably heard of Constantine, a Roman emperor who popularized this religion early into the 4th century AD. I have joined with Jacob Berman, who has done a lot of study on this in an effort to simplify a very interesting topic of Christian history. Why this is of such importance is because early Christianity did not resemble that which we see today. Within the 1st century, the very birth of this new religion that evolved out of Judaism was a train wreck. To put it lightly, there was no unified creed or single understanding of what Christianity was prior to Constantine. Most Christians do not know that the initial birth of Christianity exploded into a wide variety of beliefs and practices. It wasn't until the 4th century, when a Roman emperor embraced Christianity, that a unified creed was finally and successfully established. Michael White, a professor of religious studies at the University of Texas, wrote, "Christianity often implies that it originates from just one form of religiosity, when in fact the opposite is true." Within the New Testament itself, we can catch a glimpse of this inner turmoil. The Apostle Paul clearly had conflict with other groups. In the book of Acts, we discover a strong disagreement between Paul and Barnabas, resulting in their going separate ways. And the contention was so sharp between them that they departed asunder, one from the other. Within the epistles, Paul is often defending himself from other teachers. For such people are false apostles, deceitful workers, disguising themselves as apostles of Christ. Even in the much later book of Revelation, we discover these rivals. But you have this in your favor. You hate the practices of the Nicolaitans, which I also hate. The New Testament only scratches the surface of this looming problem. Competition between various Christian groups concerning who is right and who is wrong is firmly grounded in historical records and gripped the entire Roman Empire throughout the 2nd and 3rd centuries. Today we have an extensive list from historians who have identified many of the earlier and more popular forms of Christianity: the Nicolaitans, Adamites, Coptics, Ebionites, Bardasians, Ophites, Docetism, Basilidians, Montanism, Arianism, and then finally Catholicism, established by the Roman government, which won dominance, weeded out all of the competitors, and ruled alone for nearly 1,500 years of human history, until Protestantism broke off in the 16th century. Rome certainly needed to address this growing religion and the enmity it was causing between groups of people. This is where Constantine takes a historical stage. How he became influenced by Christianity is not certain, but it is rumored that he learned about it through his mother, Helena. Constantine transformed his worship from that of the sole god, or what we would call the worshiping of the sun, into worshiping Jesus, and we can see how early Roman artwork attempts to make Jesus look identical to the sun god's soul. Much like how American evangelists today will make Jesus look like a guru when preaching in India. When Constantine became emperor of Rome, a large segment of the Roman population had already been introduced to Christianity and took much interest in this new and evolving Jewish monotheistic faith. However, the landscape was dividing ever more, and something had to be done by government intervention. Unity was essential. What Jacob has to say on this topic is very interesting and eye-opening. Let's have a listen.
Roughly 312 AD, Constantine publicly converted to Christianity, and within 1 year, himself and Licinius issued the Edict of Milan to make Christianity a legal Roman religion. Then in just under 10 years, Constantine made the day of Dies Solis Day, which is a Sunday, the day of Krios Iesous Christos, the day of Jesus Christ, therefore breaking the commandments of the Jewish God, and their holy day held on Saturday because Sunday was the more important day of the Roman sun god Sol. Long-held traditions of Roman worship were slowly being implemented into Christianity, causing further separation from its Jewish beginnings. By 324 AD, it was clear how disputes over what Christianity was became a strain on the political environment and stability of Rome. The Arians were those that thought that Jesus was not eternal or equal of God the Father. Their rivals were the Homoousian, whom believed that Jesus and God were both equal and the same. By this time, a Catholic hierarchy had been established, and the Arians became a bigger annoyance when their beliefs began to spread throughout the territory, while bishops from all across the Roman Empire entered into a war of words over Christian theology and who Jesus is. The Arians follow Arius, whom stated that if the Father begot the Son, then he who was begotten had a beginning and existence, and from this it follows there was a time when the Son was not. In 325 AD, in response to this religious confusion, controversy, and rival aggression, the very first Council of Nicaea, led by Emperor Constantine, set out to resolve these issues concerning the place of Christianity and description of Jesus. The deity of Jesus rested on the votes of approximately 318 bishops, with the Nicene Creed being the end result. This more or less resulted in the Christianity we have today, and Constantine's efforts are partly credited to how Christianity has become the most predominant religion in the world. They also declared Arius to be a heretic. The Council of Nicaea resulted in stability to a growing Christian movement. The actions taken in Nicaea led to even more councils being convened to further define Christianity, gather, copy, and recreate scripture for all Christians going forward. Looking back on history, it is very clear how the efforts of Emperor Constantine revealed a wish to preserve the God's soul and utilize Christianity to do so. After all, before he declared himself a Christian, he was a worshipper of Sol. What is interesting is how Christianity borrows from earlier Greco-Roman religious literature. An Orphic saying from an oracle of Apollo states, Zeus, Hades, Helios, 3 gods in one godhead. This Trinity concept and the Greek belief in Hades or a hell was never spoken of by any Jew or Jewish text, but soon became central to Christian doctrine and prominent in New Testament literature. One of Plato's dialogues, Timaeus, was written in 360 BC, speaks of an apocalypse regarding a child of Helios called Phaethon. Phaethon had asked his father, Helios, the sun god, also recognized as Zeus, if he could drive the sun chariot, which is depicted as having 4 horses pulling the sun across the sky. Phaethon was permitted and then drove the sun chariot wildly out of control, causing the sun to swerve too close to the earth and setting it on fire. Zeus, also referred to as Helios, then shoots down his son Phaethon to prevent a solar apocalypse and save humanity. Ironically, a Christian god also strikes down his own son Jesus to save humanity. These similarities are not easily missed. In the book of Revelation, there are 4 horsemen and 7 seals, which are identical to the 4 horses of the sun chariot and the 7 rays of the Roman sun god. These 7 rays of the sun come from the 6th century BC and were commonly associated with Zeus as Taurus the bull. Such examples of similarity cause many to wonder if earlier Roman traditions and stories not only influenced Christianity, but melded together to create mutual concepts of Greco-Roman theologies, now known as Christianity. It certainly is no more a Jewish theology.
I don't believe in masquerades. I don't believe that you're okay. I don't believe that God will save. Only you can solve your problems. I don't care what they sold